Let's talk about the second book in the Mistborn Era 1 trilogy by Brandon Sanderson called The Well of Ascension. I feel kind of mixed about it. Overall, I really liked it. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I think this book has higher highs and lower lows than the first one. So let's start with the negatives because they're fewer than the positives. My biggest issue is this book feels like it has too many threads and several things that should have been set up from in the previous book that just were not and that are suddenly introduced in this one. So there's two main issues I have. Number one is the introduction of a character that I won't spoil because I don't really like to spoil in these videos. But there's a character that is introduced that he has a relationship with Vin that I did not enjoy at all. I felt that he was kind of inserted to push and to push Vin on and to make Vin doubt herself, and it just felt weird to me. It just felt unnecessary. I feel like a lot of that could have just been done without him and just with Vin having her own self-doubt from, the traumas that she's had in life. But that was the first thing I did not like. The second thing I didn't really like was the introduction of the Koloss. I do think they are mentioned in the first book, but in this one they play a really significant role. And I wish that they were talked about and set up better in the first book. But aside from those two things, I really, don't have many other issues with the book. I feel like I really enjoy the characters. Ellen, he's such a central plot point to this story, and his arc is so important, and it just is so good. Seysid became my favorite character by the end. His journey and what he goes through is so interesting and so well written, in my opinion. The whole setup point of this being a siege that's happening in Luthadel and our heroes trying to figure out their way out of it, I think is a really entertaining and a really tense kind of like setup. There's just so much more like macro level political stuff with like the ska and like just what does it mean to be a good ruler that I really enjoyed. And the ending cliffhanger just sets things up perfectly for the next book, and I already started reading it because I just couldn't wait. So overall, this is a flawed book. It does have some major problems, but the highs are really high, and I really enjoyed it. So overall, I'd give it 3.75 stars out of 5.